The units that we all make. The unit that we all need. And the unit that we all hate and despise. These fucking peasants! Hello everyone! Peace be upon you all. Now welcome to a new video. In this video we will be talking about villages. And villages and basically just villages. Let's get over with this shit. Now villages are the game's fundamental units, with the ability to collect resources, which we use to do upgrades, build buildings and repair them also if they were damaged. From these buildings we can make other units and upgrades with the resources that they collect. They also offer offensive presence with their pen knives, and when they garrison in town centers, towers and castles, they fire extra arrows. Now with this knowledge, villages are used for three roles: economic, defensive and militaristic. In these videos we will discuss villages micromanagement and the role in the big pictures of the game micromanagement. So first of all, we need to know the importance of villages, of what the fuck, of villages. Furthermore, the V and L and G and R in the same fucking word makes me hate villages even more. Now the first point is balancing resources and how many villages do we need. A lot of experienced players would tell newer players to create a lot of villages, mainly half the population, but why? As I have said before, villages collect resources, and with these resources they can build buildings or repair damaged ones, and we can make units and do upgrades. When we fight, we need a big, strong army and fast. And if our army dies, we could replenish it immediately so that our army would be basically undead. So we need many buildings to spam our units. If you don't build many military buildings, you should. You really should. Now here, for example, it takes 22 seconds for a halberdier to be created. So with one barracks you can make one halberdier every 22 seconds. So how about 15 barracks to make 15 halberdier every 22 seconds? Or even 22 barracks to create basically halberdier every 1 second. Okay, that would be too much. You get the idea. You won't have enough space for 22 barracks anyway. And you shouldn't be only making halberdier. So, putting the number of buildings, cost of the units, and the creation time, and the villages gather rate into account, I would say that we would need 6 farmers and 3 lumberjacks to keep a production of halberdier from a single barracks forever if the population was infinite. If we want 2 barracks, then we'll just multiply the numbers by 2. So 12 farmers and 6 lumberjacks. Now, if you are a good player, you can just assume the numbers correctly every time by experience. But not all of us are good players, so here are 2 ways to get what number of villages you need for what unit accurately. This will never get old. The "oh, I need more here" technique. Yes, I came up with this shitty name. It's a thing. So basically I need to make halberdier and they cost 35 food and 25 wood. So we'll need food and wood villages, but logically more in food. So here is an example. Here I have a very simple, beautiful town, and here I am making some villages and put them on farms. So I'm going to start with food, so that I can make more villages and get the halberdier going on soon. Here I make some halberdier and it says not enough food, and here is the reason behind the name. Oh, I need more villagers and food. It's that simple. Now I have enough food for the halberdier. It seems that I need more food villagers. Oh, now I need more and wood. Now I need more and food. I need more wood for farms. And now it's good. It seems that the production of the barracks is stable now, and I don't think I need more villagers to create more halberdier from this barracks, and I can keep making halberdier forever. So I think you get the idea. You need more food, you send more villagers to food. You need more wood, you send more villagers to wood. It's that simple. You don't just... If you have a lot of wood, send them to food. If you have a lot of food, send them to wood. Like here I have too much food now. Let's send the villager to do something more useful. So, in a real game, I don't recommend playing the entire game with only 10 villagers and a barracks. So, you need more barracks. So, as I said before, you would multiply the number of this set by the number of the barracks. Like here, for example, we have 5 villagers on farms and 3 on wood. So if we build 5 barracks, we would multiply all these numbers by 5, so 25 food and fucking I don't do math. You get the idea. So what if I want to add another set, like skirmishers for example? We don't just make halberdier the entire game. So here I build an archery range to make some skirmishers. So a skirmisher costs 35 wood and 25 food. So we would need more villagers and wood and more villagers and food. So let's get started and see how many villagers do we need on what resource by balancing it out and see what we just don't have enough of. Now I added many villagers and wood and it is going just fine. Now it's obvious that we would need more villagers and food, as the set of 5 villagers and food is used for the halberdier, and we would need more as the skirmishers consume 25 food extra. So I think we would need 3 more villagers, I think, or 4. So let's add more villagers and food. I think we have a lot on wood. So let's move some to farms. Now our economy is balanced very good for our army. Now we can make constant skirmishers and halberdier from our barracks and archery range, as we have added the set of skirmishers on the set of halberdier. We had 5 on farms, now we have 9, and we had 3 on wood, now we have 6. I'm tired as fuck. I need to finish the video today. 4 videos in 1 week. Just for you guys, before I travel for that 2 weeks. That's how much I care. This technique would only work when you are making units, so that you would know what you don't have enough of. So it's used when you are actually attacking. In case of booming, you would have a plan of what units you want to make. Like here for example, I want to make elephants. Elephants cost 200 food and 75 gold. And their upgrades cost over 2000 food and 2000 gold. So they are expensive as fuck. Not mentioning the stone for the castles. So in this game I plan to make elephants and they consume a lot of food and gold with a ratio of 200 to 75. So I would say we'll need a lot of food, like about 100 and about 50 on gold and 10 on wood for farms. This would be the end result, but on my way to it, there will be a lot of switching between tasks to the resource that I need. And this numbers is just an assumption. And when I actually start fighting and attacking, I will know what I don't have enough of, and I will be able to balance it better, like I have demonstrated before. Like here, I made many farms because it's just a logical guess. I will need a lot of food to make the elephants because they cost 200 food a single one. And when I started fighting now, I saw that I need even more farms. So I now have about 102 or 10. So I hope you can understand and use this way on your own. But if you are a new player and you have no idea how to make this logical guess, I made these simple numbers to give you a general idea. But I really recommend not relying on these numbers, as I just made them up to have a general idea. For more accurate numbers, let's move to point 2. Point 2 is getting the exact numbers. You calculate your own numbers by yourself. Check out how fast your unit gets created and how much resources does it cost and the gather weight of the villagers. For example, a unit that gets created in 30 seconds and costs 50 food and 25 gold, and the villagers collect 20 food every 20 seconds and 15 gold every 25 seconds. These numbers aren't real. Villagers don't collect at that speed. This is only an example. We divide the unit's creation speed by the villagers' collecting speed. So for food, we'll need to put between brackets 50 food divided 30 seconds, divided between brackets 20 food divided 20 seconds. And for gold, we will need 25 gold every 30 seconds divided 15 gold divided 25 seconds, which is 1.6 villages in food and 1.4 villages in gold. We round up, so we will need 2 villages in food and 2 villages in gold to keep creating that unit constantly from one buildings. But who the fuck will do this shit? I seriously recommend asking Batman, like I did. He came out to be a very nice guy. Now, luckily for us, Batman knows. Yes, Batman. We all had the choice of calculating every single unit and share it to one another. But none of us dares to do the right choice. But Batman is the one who is. Because he endures what he and does the fucking right choice. Fuck English. Yes. Batman. Now, on a serious note, I was checking Zero Empire's videos the other day, and I found Sir Bruce Wayne, and he gave us a very precious link, and it will be in the description. I asked Batman how he got that link, but he seems busy, I guess. Now, if you don't know how to use spreadsheets, it is so simple, like this. As you can see down at the bar at the down, we have several sheets. In sheet 1, we can see every single unit and what does it cost, except the units in the expansions, the Forgotten and the African Kingdoms. It's a very simple table where on the left you can see the units and 3 numbers next to them in 3 columns for food and wood and gold, and a column for how much time does it take the unit to be created. These timings can be changed by the civilization's bonuses and conscription. Now in sheet 2 we can see the gather weight of the villagers every second, and just neglect the units underneath. It's probably written by mistake or something. These numbers are measured in Dark Age, and they increase when we advance in the ages and do other upgrades. So we will discuss the upgrades in another video. Now in sheet 3 is what is totally amazing. The fucking guy who made this, I have no idea who made it, and I don't know who to credit this for, but thank you if you are watching this video. Thank you very much. He actually did the equation that I talked about for every single unit, and now we have accurate numbers for each unit. Although they are approximations, but they are very accurate compared to just guessing. So here we have every single unit, and the column we have the how many food villages, how many wood villages, how many gold villages. In sheet 5, I don't have no idea what this is, just ignore it. And in sheet 6 it is just empty. So once again, thank you man so much, the man who made this. Thank you, seriously. I really recommend downloading the document in the description for more accurate numbers. It really helps in fastening your gameplay, and you would have more time thinking about your plan rather than thinking where to assign your next villager. Like here for example, I do a fast castle into knights and have a theoretical rush. With the numbers here, I know that I need 7 on food and 7 on gold for constant knights from one stable, and 7 on food for constant villager production. And as you can see, knowing each set really makes me more relaxed and gives me more time to think what am I supposed to do, as this set makes my production very smooth. But when the game drags very long, I would be thinking about many strategies and fighting everywhere, so it would be really hard to manage each set of production, as I don't know how many villages do I have, nor how many military buildings do I have for each different unit type. So I just use the balancing technique when I reach that point of the game. But if you can manage each set of production, it will really help you and you'll become better than anyone at economy balance. But I just can't do it, as I still have a long way to go to be able to do it. But as you can see here, I actually did it because I wasn't fighting, and it was going insanely smooth, and it relieves so much mental stress. And I use all my resources so efficiently, and all my resources is spent into an army and being useful. So download that link. You'll really like it, and it will be very extremely useful. Very extremely useful. So before I end this video, I will give you 2 realistic examples, as we have been assuming that population was infinite, or we are in a huge map with a high population. In these scenarios, you would build more military buildings and make more units in a shorter time, so you would need more villages. I hope you now know the importance of having many villages, but remember, having many villages without balancing them between their resources would make them useless. For example, it would be stupid to have 10,000 wood stockpiled while you are making Guzar. You should immediately retask many villagers of wood and assign them to farms, where they would be more useful. So don't forget what the amount of villagers you need on what resource to sustain your army production, and reach the number you need as fast as possible. And the faster you reach that goal, the faster you would start to get a strong big undead army. Anyway, in this game I'm Koreans. As Koreans, I would love to make a good army of halberdier and onagers. If we consider the size of the map, it would be nice to be able to make constant halberdier from 14 barracks and constant onagers from 6 Sig workshops. Putting the number of buildings, cost of the units, and the time of creation and the villager gather weight into account, I would assume that we will need about 55 in wood, 70 in food for the halberdier would be enough if the population was infinite. These are approximate numbers, so in a real game about 200 population, we would need 65 in wood, 40 in food, and 30 in gold. This is also an assumption for the ideal scenario, where with this army we push slowly with the onagers, and the halberdier just protect the onagers from the cavalry and offer a meat shield, so we won't lose our onagers, and will lose minimum numbers of halberdier. So we will stay pop capped for a long time, and these few villagers would be enough for stockpiling resources until some units die. Another case would be, for example, I'm Goth and I'll keep spamming Huskarls and Halberdier from 7 barracks, and Hand Cannoneer from 6 archeries, and Rams from Essig Workshop. Unlike the Koreans, with these units we need to be ultra aggressive and will lose many units, so reaching the pop cap is unlikely, so we can assume that the population is infinite, as we won't be able to reach the pop cap because we lose units at the same rate we gain units. So we would need about 100 on food, 50 on gold and 10 on wood. These villages are very many compared to the 200 population, but as I said, we will not get pop capped and we would be able to keep making units forever and overwhelm the opponent. Of course, you should avoid as much loss as possible with micro and not just spam units, but that's not the issue here. We are talking about villages. In the past example, we use fewer villages than the ones in this example because we get pop capped immediately and we don't lose units as much as in this scenario, because in the last example we push slowly. Here we just crush our opponent with super aggression. So these two examples are opposites for two different scenarios. One last point. If you stockpile a lot of resources, like for example 10,000 food, 10,000 gold, 10,000 wood, you should delete some villages to free some space for more army, as stockpiling resources is not good. You should always spend your resources. But if by any chance a bad accident happened and many of your army was lost, replace the villagers ASAP, as it would be very bad if your stockpile is spent and you can't sustain army production anymore. Same goes if you got raided and lost villagers. Remake them. Don't just wait till the raid is over. Just garrison the new villages somewhere. So we reached the end of our video. I hope you had fun and learned new things from this video, and I have helped somewhat to improve your game. So as I said before, I will be absent for 3 weeks as I'm going to travel to a wasteland with no internet or water. So see you later in part 2. See ya!